November 11th, 2012. A neighbor is discovered with a bullet in his skull. By dawn, police have named their suspect, John McAfee, the millionaire who put antivirus software on half the world's computers. When officers come to question him, he has vanished. What follows is unthinkable. Twice, he fakes his own death. He bribes his way out of a Guatemalan deportation cell mere hours before extradition. For 18 months, he escapes the FBI on a yacht, taunting them on Twitter with his precise location. Each time they close in, he disappears. 3 countries issue warrants. Interpol joins the hunt. The US government deploys international resources to capture one man, and every single time he outsmarts them. This is more than a fugitive story. It's a masterclass in making the most powerful nation on Earth appear amateur. How does one individual remain free for so long? And what occurs when he is finally caught? 1987, Silicon Valley. John McAfee writes 12 lines of code that will earn him a fortune. Personal computers are proliferating, and so is a new threat, the brain virus. The first IBM PC virus spreads through floppy disks like a digital plague. McAfee, a programmer at Lockheed, sees both the panic and the opportunity. In his spare time, he writes a detection program and names it Virus Scan. Companies are calling within weeks. Within months, he leaves Lockheed to sell his software full-time. McAfee Associates is born from the trunk of his car. His genius is not merely technical, it's psychological. In a 1989 interview, he warns that computer viruses will bring companies near collapse from financial loss, amplifying public terror just enough to drive desperate IT managers to his product. The strategy works. By 1990, half the Fortune 100 are paying for McAfee antivirus. Annual revenue hits $5 million and doubles every 6 months. John McAfee becomes Silicon Valley royalty, the man who tamed the digital wilderness. But John despises the throne. Board meetings bore him. Quarterly earnings calls feel like prison. 1,000 bosses, he complains to friends. Shareholders, regulators, lawyers, all demanding conformity. This is a man expelled from a doctoral program for sleeping with a professor's daughter, fired from an engineering job for arriving high on hallucinogens. He once hid behind a dumpster in a drug-induced panic. The same maverick hosted occult ceremonies and workplace sex contests at his company's headquarters simply to antagonize convention. Corporate life is suffocating him. In 1993, he cashed out, selling his shares for $100 million, and walked away from the empire bearing his name. He's 48 years old and free. For a while, he drifts. Yoga retreats, ultralight aircraft, books on Eastern mysticism, but nothing satisfies him. By 2008, the financial crash evaporates most of his fortune. His net worth plummets from 9 figures to $4 million. The loss either humbles him or confirms his suspicions. He decides governments and institutions are parasites designed to drain individual freedom. "I'll never let the state own my life," he tells a reporter, and he means it. In 2009, John boards a plane to Belize. No extradition treaty, no IRS, and no rules. Just turquoise water, white sand, and the promise of absolute autonomy. He buys a beachside villa on Ambergris Cay, then a jungle compound near Orange Walk. He hires armed bodyguards, ex-convicts, and local muscle. He builds a makeshift lab to research herbal antibiotics, claiming he will cure superbugs with jungle plants. He surrounds himself with teenage girlfriends, forming a compound of loyalty bound by money and fear. Locals whisper that the American millionaire is insane or dangerous, possibly both. By day, John pilots his ultralight plane over the reef. By night, he throws bonfire parties with automatic weapons displayed like party favors. He even starts a pharmaceutical company, Quorum X, to legitimize his jungle experiments. To outsiders, he is just another eccentric expat playing scientist, but something darker is fermenting. His business paranoia, once an asset, is curdling into isolation psychosis. He picks fights with gangsters over territory. He butts heads with neighbors over noise. But Belize, he will learn too late, is not a place where foreigners write their own laws, and the fuse is already lit. But before the explosion, what turns a millionaire tech genius into a jungle warlord? And why would a man who built his career on protection end up accused of the opposite? Speaking of protection, McAfee understood something most of us ignore. Your digital life is constantly being watched. Every search, every click, tracked and logged. That's where today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN, comes in. Look, I spend hours researching stories like this one, digging through international databases, accessing geo-blocked sources. Without a VPN, my ISP sees everything. Websites track my location, and honestly, researching fugitives and government operations, that's the kind of browsing history you want encrypted. Surfshark masks your IP address, encrypts your connection, and lets you access content from anywhere in the world. Whether you're streaming and want to unlock geo-restricted libraries from other countries, researching sensitive topics, or need Surfshark Alert to monitor if your personal data has been leaked in a breach, it's essential right now. Go to surfshark.com/hide. You killed my fucking dog, McAfee screams, his eyes wild. The officers pin him face down in the dirt. They loot every structure for 6 hours, overturn lab equipment, confiscate rifles and pistols, seize bottles of chemicals McAfee claims are antibiotic compounds. At the end of the raid, 0 drugs are recovered. The only charge is possessing an unlicensed firearm, a paperwork misdemeanor. They haul him to Belize City anyway. They throw him in the piss house, the Belize Central Prison's holding tank, named for the open sewer running through it. McAfee spends one night there, bribing a guard with a $100 bill for a single cigarette, using a garbage bag as a belt because they confiscated his. He's released the next morning without charges. But the damage is done. A switch flips. John decides the government wants him dead. Is he paranoid? Maybe. Is he wrong? That's harder to answer. After the raid, McAfee sleeps with a Glock under his pillow. He installs tripwires and cameras around the compound. He starts babbling to visitors about assassination plots, about cartels and corrupt police working together. Belize's prime minister will later call him extremely paranoid, even bonkers. John wears it as a compliment, because only the paranoid survive. Meanwhile, 50 yards away on Ambergris Cay, a quieter conflict escalates. Gregory Fowle, a 52-year-old expat from Florida, moved to Belize for silence and sunshine. Instead, he got John McAfee as a neighbor. McAfee's 9 dogs roam the beach freely, barking through the night, occasionally biting tourists. Fowle files complaints with the mayor, noise violations and dangerous animals, he complains. He confronts McAfee directly. Control your dogs or I'll take care of them myself. McAfee refuses. He needs the dogs for security. The feud simmers for weeks. Then, on November 9th, 2012, something breaks. That night, McAfee's dogs start foaming at the mouth. One by one, 4 animals collapse, convulsing. By dawn, they are dead, poisoned. John is devastated, then enraged. He orders his staff to shoot the dying dogs to end their suffering. He grabs his pistol and paces the compound, seething. Someone sent a message. Maybe the cartels, maybe that gringo neighbor who threatened them. 24 hours later, November 10th, 2012, a single gunshot cracks the night air on Ambergris Cay. Neighbors hear it, dismiss it as firecrackers or a car backfiring. The next morning, Sunday, November 11th, 2012, a housekeeper finds Gregory Fowle face up on his villa floor in a pool of blood. A 9mm round through the back of his head, execution style. His laptop and cell phone are missing. The island freezes in shock. An American murdered in paradise.